how many are familiar with her and her playing? She's amazing. And
she's a beast.
She's a beast in high heels. I saw her play the Hammond pedals in high heels. I mean, I'm going, no, this can't be. And so when we set up what all she was going to talk about in the church, she says, do you have any old school pianists there? And I says, yeah, I've got a couple. She goes, let me spend some time with them. Just set up a keyboard for each of us and I'm going to show them. She sent him away with two things. And this is going to be what can help you kind of sound a little bit more contemporary, and then I'll go to what I did to that. So when I talk about the C chord, we can talk about a 1, 3, 5. Everybody familiar with that? Okay, 1, 3, 5. What Sister Dee Dee Cooley said, for every major chord, that's a major chord, you know that, right? Okay, just checking here. For every chord, add the 2.
Right.
In the key of C, it's going to be the D. So all of a sudden, I just fattened up my chord. I've added another chord to it. Remember, you got 5 fingers, right? People who play triads are only using 3 of those. And it sounds really simple, but if you add, you kind of give another dimension to the whole thing when you add the 2 to every major chord. The other thing she says, for a minor chord, and everybody can do a minor chord, I'll do A minor, which is pretty easy. Add a 7th to every minor chord. The way you find the 7th is, the easiest way to do it is do the octave of the root, in this case it's A, go down with what we call a whole step. That means you add the G to the chord. I'm playing everything in what we call first position, okay? You can get really cool if you goof around with other inversions of those chords. So in other words, an A minor, I can voice it A, C, E, G. I've got 5 fingers, so I'm playing an A. You know, why not? I can go G, A, C, E. Wow, wasn't that cool? So the first thing is add a 2 to every chord, okay? And then the other is add a 7th to every minor chord. Okay, now, what I did, and I did this last night in our altar song, Praise is What I Do. Okay, so for the major chord, remember, add in the 2, C, D, E, G, right? Right? What I do is I leave out the E. Gives it a very content. Now, most likely, like when they sing praise, 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 they're doing the 3 or the E, they're singing it in the melody, but as an accompanist. So when it comes to that part, praise is what I do. Sorry, Ron. That's not the key we did it in last night. They threw a loop up and says, no, we want it a whole step higher. But anyhow, that's what I do there. I add the 2. And then to a minor chord, I took what Sister Dee Dee Cooley said, and I also added 2 to a minor chord. So let's take the A minor 7, A, C, E, G. I add a B in there. Sounds like this. Becomes a minor 9th, okay, if you really want to know the name of the chord, okay? So all of a sudden I've really kind of opened up with some additional, I've added layers to the complexity of the harmony, okay? And again, I agree with James, is a lot of times it's, you know, what we call the talk music or announcement music or whatever, you know, I'll do a lot of that in there. And my pastor in Michigan said, when I'm up there, if I call you up for altar and I haven't finished my sermon, don't play a song.
Amen.
Because what you will do, you will throw me off from my thoughts. I will start thinking about the words of a song.
The whole congregation will lose track. If you start playing a song that you can recognize the melody, everyone's brains are just geared to listen to music. So they will start listening to what you're playing and start singing along, and then they will lose track with what he is saying and where he is going. And you could kill it.
Now, can I talk about talk music for a little bit, about what to do? How many of you do talk music underneath the balance